Picture this. A curve in the road. A change in plans. Well, what do you say? With the all-new Audi Q3, the answer's always yes. Yes to adventure. Yes to escape. Yes to performance. Yes to comfort. Yes to right now. Because saying yes without hesitation, that's real luxury. The all-new Audi Q3, made for the yes life.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Underrated Movie Podcast. This is a podcast where we discuss films that are underrated, underappreciated, and ones that have skated under the radar and passed most people by. I am your host, Derek McDuff, and today I'm going to be discussing the 2011 film Goon, starring Sean William Scott, directed by Michael Dowse, written by Jay Baruchel and Evan Goldberg. And joining me to discuss this is, he's a new streamer. You may have seen him around talking about God of War and all kinds of other games here on the internet. He's known as Martial Law, but to me he's known as Marshall McDuff. And if that didn't give you a clue as to who this new up-and-coming streamer is, it's my own brother Marshall. How's it going, Marsh?
It's going well. How are you doing, up and coming podcaster? I'm just kidding. Yeah. I know it's like 6 years in, but yeah, it's going well. It's like three months in. They really fucking put you through the ringer on YouTube. Sorry, there might be some derogatory words compared to other podcasts, but I am your brother, and you signed up for this. You asked me on, so this is the way it's gonna go.
I was like, you know what? I was like, hey, you got your YouTube channel, and I need an episode for 420. So who can I call? And I was like, well, our dad's not available. He's the real he's the stoner in the family. But I needed somebody who can. I wanted to do kind of a laid back, chill kind of comedy, maybe that somebody could enjoy watching on 420. And that's when this episode is coming out. So I was like, let me call a guy with a little bit of a different sense of humor. I thought you might be good for an episode talking about a movie like this.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm more of an alcoholic right now,
Which works for this movie,
So that'll work. Hey, Goon.
Goon.
We'll just say something about Goon right now. Mm-hmm. He is a dumbass who, is a lovable dumbass, and I can relate to that. So I feel honored to, review the movie with you.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on, and yeah, like you're saying, he's a very lovable guy. For people who aren't familiar with the movie, it's about Sean William Scott plays this bouncer who is very good at being just very violent, and he kind of gets recruited by a hockey team and becomes an enforcer. So he's just going around beating everybody up, but he's not the brightest bulb in the shed. He's not the sharpest crayon in the crayon box, but he's a real good-hearted guy. And he's out there, he wants to fight, but only to protect the people that he cares about, his teammates. And he doesn't always have the right thing to say. He doesn't always know what to do. He's a little bit slow, but he's got a real good heart. That I think this movie has a real good heart in the style of some other, sports movies about, just a guy who's doesn't have it all there, but he can do things for the people he cares about. I think this is a real good one that's maybe gotten a bit overlooked. I don't know, Marshall. What did you think about Goon?
What were you saying? I got a good heart, and I like to protect my family, but I was kind of focused on something else, and then you were saying a lot of big words. Can you repeat that? I'm just kidding. No, it's a great movie. Honestly, I love Sean William Scott in the role. He's amazing. It's my favorite movie for Jay that
Jay Baruchel.
Jerry Baruchel. Okay,
I know you're not
don't
the
know.
biggest fan of his,
But like that's my favorite movie. He's such a dickhead in it, and it's fucking awesome when he's such a dickhead. Like he's straight up like you see the way this like they have like that one guy that like he if you've seen the movie like hit somebody in the head with like a hockey stick. And they're like, oh, like this is sad, like it's the end of his career, and that's like
the Liev Schreiber character.
He goes up, Lee Shriver. If you've ever watched NFL films, we don't need to go into that, but Lee Shriver, he does that too. But yeah, I think it's an awesome movie, and it shows he's a really good guy, and he gets recruited onto the team because they're at a hockey game. He's kind of down on his luck. He's a bouncer at a bar. And then this guy comes into the crowd and he just beats the shit out of him. And the coach catches that. And his buddy Jay has a show and he calls in. And it's pretty cool to watch him break it down. And he's such a fucking idiot when he's talking to him on the phone. He's like, well, we want you to try out. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. And he's like, okay, sounds good. I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, I'd like to see you tomorrow. And I was like, been there, done that.
Yeah, no, I love, and that first scene where you see him, the guy comes in the crowd and he beats him up and everything. It's such a good introduction to the kind of person this is, the character, Sean William Scott's character, Doug the Thug, as he becomes known later on. Because you find out like this is a guy who is he can beat the shit out of somebody. Like he can be a goon enforcer, but the reason it even happens in the first place is because the hockey guy who's coming up to him is basically shouting the F slur, and just goes, "Hey, my brother's gay." But he's coming up and he's just like, he's standing up for his brother, and he's just like, hey, take that word back, basically. And I love that. He's every time that he is doing these act of violence, it's always coming from a place of protection. It's coming from a place of love, And while his parents are dismissive of him, for being just kind of this dumb brute, for his brother for being gay, he's just all about acceptance and love. And that's the thing that comes through the whole movie. And he even, like, at one point, because there's this whole romance that happens with him and Allison Pill's character, and he kind of essentially steals her from her boyfriend, and he
spoilers. Movie.
Yeah, at this point, we know this is a spoiler pass, but he just kind of like lets him beat him up. He's like, yeah, I deserve this. He's got such a strong moral code, and he makes everyone else around him better. I don't know. What do you think of him as like a character and just being kind of this upstanding guy?
I love him. He reminds me of myself. He actually makes me feel good because it's like, man, I'm smarter than that guy. That's good. It's like one guy I can point to, like, fuck, I'm smarter than that guy. So that's a good point. But like, even like when you're talking about that guy and he's saying the F slur, and he comes into the stands and he's like, take it back, and then he like won't take it back. It's like a hockey player who has a helmet on, and he smashes his head against that hockey player with the helmet on, and the hockey player with the helmet on gets effed up versus him getting effed up, which I thought was pretty cool. Do you remember that part?
Oh, I remember the part. That's great. And, so that just shows, like, right off the bat, everyone's, like, freaking out. They're like, who is this guy? You see why, even though he's, like, not a skater or anything, obviously he's not a skater. He gets better later. But why they're like, the coach is like, I want to have you have a tryout, and he, over the course of the movie, like, becomes even better and better. And, you start to see this building, the movie opens with the Liev Schreiber character who's kind of this old school enforcer. He's this Canadian guy with this like hockey mask, and he almost even looks like Sabretooth because he played Sabretooth, in the Wolverine movie.
Did he do that for the Deadpool and Wolverine, or just like
he didn't come back for Deadpool and Wolverine? They got the other.
That was a different guy.
That's a different guy, but he's kind of like one of the more. He's in like kind of in the bad Wolverine movie, but he's good in it.
Sorry, folks. I was trying to make that better. I didn't make it better, but anyways, we'll make it better right now. It does start off with him, and he's like, I like the way you do your hair because it's like a black dude, and he has like dreads, right? Mm-hmm. So like, and they're facing off, and like that's the way it kind of works in hockey is you talk shit to the person like next to you, right?
Mm-hmm. But then I love the contrast when Doug sees somebody and he's like, I think it might be the same guy, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go?" And he's like, "Okay," and they have like a fight, and it's just kind of like this like nice thing. And it's just like, there's a nice guy, like they was just like he's just out there doing his. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a fighter, but I don't have to like hate the guy I'm going up against." So
Well,
I thought that was a really
Doug's so like nice, but so fucking stupid too. Like,
exactly.
it works well, but like mainly he's so nice.
There's a lot of good lines, There's the choose 69, it would be hilarious, That's why, and he has the number 69 over that's, as we know, we're doing this on 420. 420 is the second funniest number, but the funniest number is 69, as everybody knows.
That's why, whenever I choose some, if it's a password, I always involve 69 420. So,
exactly, so hackers out there,
don't hack me, guys.
Don't hack them. Don't get them, guys. But something else that he said too that I was thinking of you a little bit, because he's like, I don't have this thing. You guys got your doctor thing, and Doug finally finds his thing. He finds his passion by being this hockey enforcer, and I think that's a big part of the movie is finding your thing, finding your passion, finding your drive. Because I think you recently found that YouTube. Like you and I have talked about like how I have like my podcast and our other brother, he has his stuff. And now you have your YouTube. Have you kind of found your passion a little bit like Doug found his passion?
A bit. I will say this. 3 months in, absolutely like right away, 100%. 3 months in, like it's hard to break into it. So like, of course, there's like a learning curve. So it's just like you're learning. But yeah, I mean, that would be the dream right there for sure. I mean, yeah, it's like when I was watching the movie and he was saying those lines, I was thinking that, and I'm like, man, I hope this can work out, But it's what I thought right away. Man, I'm gonna crush this. Whatever. Enough about me, but I did definitely thought about that when I was watching the movie and he said that, and then just on a personal note, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So, yes, the long answer short is yes.
Yeah, no, because I think it is important to find that passion, whatever it might be, podcasting, YouTubing, brewing beer, hockey. But I really, I thought that was great. And how, you say it's a marathon, not a sprint. I think that's the case here too for even Doug, right? Because you see the course of him over the movie where he's just kind of first, he's like, I want to protect all my teammates. There's, the one especially that he doesn't win over. And it takes a little while to win everybody over.
His roommate?
But one of them, his roommate, yeah. Who's kind of fucking
we're talking about LaFlame.
The Flame, yeah.
From Quebec. Dude. I fucking watched it. I didn't watch it once. I watched it like 3 times, dude.
Well, good.
I was like,
doing the work for pod.
Because I love the movie. I bought the movie, dude.
It's a great movie. But yeah, the thing that it builds to, like him earning the respect of all his teammates and stuff, is at the end, when you see him, their second last game, and he puts his body on the line, he gets hit in the face with a puck, and then all of his teammates get in a fight for him. So the tables have turned a little bit. He's put his body on the line, he's fought for his teammates, and then he does this act, and everybody starts fighting for him. What'd you think about that and the whole end of the movie?
Well, I thought that was really cool because at the beginning of the movie, he was kind of an outcast where they did not welcome him whatsoever, and LaFlame was a dickhead, and obviously he came from like the team where the coach drew him the wolf.
I did love Lupe. Loopy.
Yeah,
and he's like, I love that you see him drawing the wolf, and then he's
like,
is that a wolf? And he's like, yeah, it's Loopy. Take it me. And he's like, oh, thanks for Loopy, coach.
You could tell he was legitimately happy about getting Loopy. Mm-hmm. But then the new team is like different, the Flames being a total dickhead. But at that point, it was pretty cool. And then the last, I don't know if we want to get that far into this right now, but like it definitely gets into the realm of his teammates all have his back, even maybe somebody who didn't have it before. And the one thing I will say is I absolutely love that movie. Seeing his teeth getting fucking knocked out with the puck, that is brutal a little bit. Yeah. Not saying that I don't think this film is underrated, because it absolutely is. And I think everybody should watch it. But, Ooh, he really puts his face on the line there.
There's some stuff in this movie that's a little tough to watch. There's a lot of people getting their faces smashed. There's of course that scene, and then there was the one that really gets me is like when his ankle snaps in that last fight. That was really like oof. Because I had just watched Challengers, and I just saw there's the scene where Zendaya's leg just kind of, and I was like the ankle was even worse than that.
Yeah, and then he's like, he's not done.
He's not-
He's not done, and I was like, fuck yeah, he's not done. We can
But
say fuck, right?
Yeah, you can say fuck it as much as you want, but
Fuck,
you know
shit,
that
piss. Sorry.
you're good. That last little fight that they have, I love that he doesn't even stay on the ice. He goes off the ice, but that's what like motivates his team and finally gives LaFlame back that his confidence, which he's lost. He's able to score those 3 goals in the end of the third period. I thought that was great. That was such a cool ending, and then you have the symmetry of like that scene echoes back to the first scene in the movie, which you realize
the tooth flying out of the mouth.
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
what you're talking about?
Yeah, and then you hear the line,
like,
who's
I know what you're talking about, Mr. Film Rep, Mr. Film Expert. I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, you get it.
End. No, I know, but that's because you think it's somebody else's tooth, but it is Shriver's tooth that's flying through the air, and it starts. That's how the movie starts.
Mm-hmm. They call it bookends. Bookends is what they call it.
Holy shit, man!
I know.
I gotta put that on YouTube. Maybe I'll get a couple more views.
Maybe one of these days you'll stick with underrated, and you might get some more views. But
that's my only shot right now.
But yeah, man. I don't know, like any other parts of the movie or any other lines you wanted to shout out?
The whole girlfriend dynamic with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because she has a boyfriend, but like she's like I fucking dig hockey players, blah blah blah, like all this, like, and then so I thought that was like an interesting part of it, and it obviously spoiler alert, there's a second movie they're together. If anybody didn't know, that one's not as good as the first one, but it's still like it shows like they stay together. But you know what I thought was funny? These 2 motherfuckers from Russia, and it's that guy who's like, I got a couple rules. Don't touch my Percocets, and if anybody's got Percocets, give me Percocets. And you know that guy?
Yeah, that guy's great.
He's fucking funny. And then like the 2 like fucking, I don't know if they're Russian or what they are. I don't want to assume
Russian
anything
guys.
here. But
we will sign your dick.
Yeah, like. He's like, I've been on a lot of themes I've never seen anybody sign dick. I think that's pretty fucking gay. Like, not that gay is a wrong thing, but like in the movie, like that's what they're saying. It's funny.
I love Sean William Scott's like, my brother's gay. He doesn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. But like, they grab his helmet and it's got his mom on it, and they're both like, doing certain like gestures to the helmet. I thought that was pretty funny. Like, this is a 420 podcast. We can say this right now.
Oh,
you chose me on here, so I'm gonna tell you what I thought that was funny. He's like, what the fuck? The Percocet guy. What the fuck? I thought this was we're a fucking
goalie,
team.
yeah.
We're on the same fucking team.
Yeah, no, that was good. I was cracking up at that whole like sign your dick line. Anything those Russian guys were fucking saying, I thought was hilarious. There's a lot of just like these are, and it's funny because like those are hockey guys. Like that's how hockey guys actually are. They're just like a bunch of dumbasses like that. Like they're all just like lovable fucking morons. And like Doug is the most lovable and the most moronic of all of them.
I can relate. Yeah, I get it. I do.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the sequel, right? Because I was debating whether I was going to watch it or not.
The Last Enforcer.
Yeah, give me what, because that Jay Baruchel actually directs that one. I haven't seen it, so I wanted to get your opinion on it.
It's not as good as the first. I'll just tell you that right now.
That's what I've heard.
I'm not trying to disappoint the people right now. I'm sorry, everybody. It's not as good as the first. No, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it is not. It's like a lot of sequels where it continues to not maybe reach up to what the first one did. But I wouldn't say it's bad. Like, it's worth a watch for sure. So it definitely is worth a watch. It's different, but it's not going to give you the same entertainment value as the first movie.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression that I got, and that's why I decided maybe I don't need to watch it for this podcast. You know, I can watch a 90-minute movie. I don't need to watch the second one. You know, I think we're good. Yeah, I think I made the right
You are.
choice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did. You did because you don't.
yeah, yeah,
I was
man.
like, I'll keep it short and sweet on that.
Yeah. I don't know. Any last thoughts on Goon?
I think it's very fucking underrated. I don't say that just because of the name of the podcast. I forget the name of the podcast we're on right now
It's
because
tough. It's
I am
tough
a goon
sometimes.
myself. I'm more of a Sean William Scott, just lovable dumbass. But it is very underrated. It's a great movie. He's such a great dude, and all his intentions are for the best. And people just are not the same way as him throughout the movie. I mean, they get to know him throughout the end, which is a beautiful thing, but I think there should be more people like him out in the world because I try to think I'm one of them unless I get too drunk, maybe not. But, that's only every once in a while.
Yeah, well put.
Sorry, Mom.
well put. But yeah, man, I think that's all. I agree with that. You know, we need more people like that in the world. But my last question for you here, you know, we talked about how I think this is in the lineage of some of the great '90s kind of or even going back further than that, like Slapshot, but a lot of Adam Sandler maybe movies where he would play a dumb guy who gets into a sports thing or whatever. I know we talked about another bonus podcast, well, at least one of them, but what's your favorite sports movie? Or you can give me a couple if you want.
So if I was going to pick favorite sports movies, I probably would go with Happy Gilmore. I probably would go with Happy Gilmore. I know it's just a cliche, but I love Happy Gilmore. Waterboy, close second. Those are both Adam Sandler. I know they're stupid movies, but I'm like Doug in this movie. I'm not. Remember the Titans is a great movie as well. Okay, I'll throw that one out there. Philosophical professor out here. But okay, those are my top three. We got Happy Gilmore, Waterboy, and Remember the Titans. Those are my top three.
Yeah,
all very similar films.
Right, you got one in there. One is not quite like the other. But yeah, I've also, it reminds me of another funny line in this movie where he sees Allison Pill after she's just broken up with her boyfriend. She's crying. He's like, "Why are you crying? Did you just watch Rudy?" That was such a fun, he's just so simple, But yeah, I gotta agree with Happy Gilmore is one of my all-time favorite sports movies. Adam Sandler, that's my favorite. Just Adam Sandler being a dumb sports guy movie. Some good sports movies out there that people should check out, but this one is one of the more underrated ones.
Maybe Eddie the Eagle,
Eddie the Eagle is a good one. That one I covered.
That's a good one.
I covered that one last time we did the Winter Olympics. I fucking love that movie. Very, very underrated movie. Yeah.
Just doing that and Dungeons and Dragons without me. It's just disrespectful, but okay. I'm on this one, so we're all right.
You're on this one. But yeah, man, where can people find you on YouTube and all that good stuff?
Yeah. Let me give you the link because if I give you martial law, it's just gonna take you to a bunch of cop videos. So it's at martial law -y1f. So if you have any more questions, reach out to Derek, reach out to me. But yeah, again, at martial law, it's 2 L's -y1f. Shameless self-promotion. You gotta love it.
You guys, that's what you gotta do on the podcast. You gotta self-promo. You gotta collaborate. So, and speaking of shameless self-promotion, if you guys want to hear some more of my stuff, you can also check out my other podcast that I do, Infinity Stones and Dragon Bones, whenever there's a new Marvel thing.
The Dragon Bones?
The Dragon Bones, John.
Holy shit. What you got on the Dragon Bones?
Talk about Daredevil? You ever heard of him?
We're brothers, everybody. I'm gonna do this.
Then you can also
Daredevil.
check
No, I didn't. I actually don't. Dude, you say something about a chick, it's been a minute since never mind.
What?
I haven't been laid in a minute, dog. Come on here. Infinity Stones and the Dragon Bounds. My bones dry as fuck. Continue.
You can also check me out on the Midnight Film Society. And you can go to patreon.com/underratedmoviepodcast for On Minute Deus. That's my bonus podcast I'm doing for 2026. But you can check out all the bonus podcasts that I've done for as little as $3 a month. Or you can just listen to episodes a week early and ad-free for as little as $1 a month. But Marshall, thank you for coming on. I'm glad you sobered up for this episode because, I know that, you'd had a couple, but I know that you drank some water, you got all sober up beforehand, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. I will.
All right. We'll see you guys all next time.
I'll see you soon. I'll see you at Thanksgiving, brother.
Yeah, take your time. I can edit it out.
No, we don't need to edit it. We'll get it done.
This is going to be highly edited, trust me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't say that many fucking stupid things.